Okay, so if you walked away for a period of time, you may be presented with a little gray screen and it'll say reconnect. Just reconnect and you'll be able to use the SSH terminal again. So one of the issues that you'll run into again is that permission issue with PHPMyAdmin. So we're going to fix that right now. We're going to go and do sudo mysql, and that'll bring up this MySQL terminal right here. Now, we're not going to select anything. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to do grant all permissions, wait, all privileges. Sorry, all privileges, if I'm spelling that correctly, on star.star. What this is doing is these are databases. So we're giving all permissions to, in single quotes, PHPMyAdmin, single quote, to close that out, at localhost. That's also supposed to be in single quotes. I screwed that part up. And semicolon. Great. Grant all privileges on this to PHP. I'm going to post a link that basically shows you how to do this as well. Shows the commands right here. There it is. Okay. And that query will run. What you're going to do at this point is flush privileges, which is not shown here, but is something that you'll still have to do. Flush privileges. And then you can exit this and do sudo systemctl, system control, restart MySQL. And just do the same thing for Apache 2. And you should be good to go. When you go into your PHPMyAdmin now, I'm just going to go back to my area here. We'll fix this pretty soon. We don't have anything in there because I deleted the default page, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So we're going to go to PHPMyAdmin now. And now you'll be able to add a new database, which we'll do right now, actually. And I'm just going to call this one CS230 because that's how it is in my DB handler. And go and create that. Now, there's no tables in here. What we're going to do is we're going to use the import. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to head over to our GitHub. We're going to make a few changes. So this CS230 right here, SQL file that we plugged and played in here, it has this date time going on in our gallery, in this create table for the gallery, and you need to change that to timestamp. Now you can do this in GitHub using this little pencil right over here to edit. Now I am in a previous branch, so I'm not allowed to edit this at the moment. But if I go to the main branch right here, and let me see. Yeah, the Git repo that I have here is missing the index.html file. You need to go in there and delete that as well. The way that you can do that is, just to give you an example, I'll just go into this web font right here. If I was going to do this, I could literally just hit delete this file, and then there will be a commit option. Let's see, what's another kind of benign example of that? In the images right here. I actually need all of those. SVGs, there we go. We never use Alipay, so that's fine. I'll just delete this one. All right, so I'm gonna hit delete this file and then commit changes. And now it's gone. Alipay is no longer there. Bye-bye. Like I said, you can edit stuff in these files by clicking on them and using the little edit this file. And you can change some of these options around for like the gallery so that it's timestamped. This needs to be timestamped, otherwise it'll give you an error when you try and import it. It's something that I forgot when we were making this initially, but anyway, just do that. The other file that we're going to make changes to is going to be this display-reviews.php. All right, you need to make sure that the DB pass is CS230 lab. That's what the PHPMyAdmin is for when I set this up. It's whatever password you set up in your terminal when you were installing PHPMyAdmin on your VM's instance in AWS, okay? So when you were going through that step, I think that's video 3, it's whatever password you use for that, because we're going to be using the PHPMyAdmin username. The next stop is going to be in this includes. It's going to be the dbhandler.php. Okay, so you're going to just make sure that the DB pass in here is CS230 lab or whatever you used for your VM. Okay, and then we're going to head back to our terminal here. See, this is the browser giving you some issues rendering. That's why it took away the sudo part right there. I'm going to clear this up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do pwd. And what this means is print working directory. So this shows me where I am in the Linux file structure. So I am in home Ubuntu. So this is the username Ubuntu, and you can see that right here as well. I'm going to do cd var, oh, not war, var /www/html. If I just type in ht or h and I hit tab, it'll do autocomplete. And I'm going to hit enter. CD changes the directory. We've used this a couple of times before, I believe, but just as a refresh, that's what we're doing. So this is where Apache stores all of our files. This is where all of our website is going to live. Now, if you just do ls right now, there's nothing in there for me, but you'll see an index.html. And what you're going to do is you're going to do sudo rm-rf. RF is removing symbolic links. So whenever I call Apache or MySQL or things like that from anywhere, it's because there is a symbolic link from where its actual executable is to the path. So I can just access it anywhere. You guys do this all the time. Whenever you double click on an icon, it basically links to the executable, and it at some level it is probably part of the path, or it's been added to your path, whether you're in Windows or Mac or Linux. All right. So anyway, you're going to do this for index.html, and you're going to hit enter. Now I've already done this, so it's going to give me an error or not. Okay. Anyway, there's no index in there. And now we're going to do sudo git clone. And this is where you're going to get the link that you guys always send me. You're going to copy it from GitHub right there. It's this HTTPS link, right? And you're going to paste that in there. So it's sudo git clone your repo for your lab project. You're going to go through this process where it's going to ask you for your username and password for GitHub. And remember to use sudo when you're doing this. Sudo gives you root privileges. It's kind of like having the keys to the kingdom. And now if I do ls, you'll see in purple is my CS230 folder. So if I do ls-l, that's going to show me the permissions and the owner of this of the current directory that I'm in for all the files and all the folders, unless they're hidden, in which case you need to do ls-la or al. Anyway, the D means directory. Read, write, execute. These are file permissions. Each of these represents a bit position. So you have 3 possible positions, either a 1 or a 0 in each of them. So you could have a value of 7, for example. So this is a value of 7, meaning you can do read, write, and execute 1, 1, 1. If you see a dash, that means that permission is not given. So for example, this would be a value of 4, or sorry, there's an X right there. So that would be 5. So this is 7, 5, 5. All right. Now, if I do 766, for example, if I change the permissions of this by doing sudo chmod -r, and I'm going to do 766, that's going to do read, write, execute, read, write, read, write, read. So RW, RW. And it's going to be on the CS230 folder. Now, this capital R flag means recursive. So when I apply these permissions to CS230, it's going to be applied to all of its subdirectories and all of the files in this folder. Okay, now if I do ls-l, you'll see that. Now, because we have an index.php file, Apache likes that. And we want Apache to be happy. Because when Apache's happy, we're happy. So if I just go here, probably need to refresh some stuff. Oh, it doesn't have ownership yet. Oh, I forgot about that. So one of the other things you can tell from this is who owns the directory, which group has ownership of it. And that is root in this case. We need that to be Apache so it can use stuff, so it can see stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do sudo chown -r, and it's going to be www-data www-data. So it's 3 W's, and it's going to be this CS230. Now, if I do ls-l, this is Apache. Now you can see your folder right there. We're going to do some stuff with some of the Apache config files in a little bit. But for right now, you can see, lo and behold, we have the ability to navigate around. We have some of these assets and everything that Apache is able to execute. These are just links. All of the stuff that I'm doing is basically HTML stuff. I haven't actually used the database yet. What I need to do is I need to actually add it. But instead of this, I'm going to go to PHPMyAdmin. It automatically logged me in, probably because I still have a session going. And I'm going to go to my CS230 database right here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to choose import. Ignore all of these things here. And I'm going to choose a file. Now, this is on my local directory. So I have a CS230 folder on here. I'm pretty sure this database is not in here. So I'm going to need to pull that on my computer. So I'm going to open up a terminal. And I'm going to change the directory to the desktop to my CS230 folder that's already on here. If it's not already on your desktop, you can just clone it and things are easy and nice. I'm going to do git pull. And what pull does is it takes the most recent version on the master branch of the version in GitHub, and it brings all those changes to your local one. Now, if I go in here, I can see there's my cs230.sql file. I'm going to choose that file. And I'm going to import it. And I see all these green messages, so everything is good. I have everything the way I had it in my original folder, or in my original directory and everything for PHPMyAdmin, all my original database tables and so forth. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Change my profile picture. Let's see if this works. All right. Okay, looks like I got the ratings and everything. That seems to be working out okay. I have a feeling it's because I don't have execute permissions. If I, for example, go to the gallery and I try and add a review for this one. Oh, that worked. Okay. So something is just up with my profile picture. So I'll take a look at that a little bit more closely in the next video. The next thing we need to do is we need to fix the Apache config so that when we go to this IP address, you don't see this folder right here. You see the index.php page. So we'll get to that in the next video.